Hello dears, today we will discuss about C language. I Kaushik sir welcome you to your favorite channel Learn with Kaushik. Let's start the topic. Introduction of C. C is a high-level compiler-based structure programming language. Okay, then here we will discuss about each word. C is a high level. High level, what is high level? You know. Before this, you already know that computer language is classified into two types. Okay, that is high level language and low level language. High level language is a language which is written using English alphabet, but low level language is a language which is written using binary form. Binary form means 0 and 1. Okay, then high level language C, it is written in English alphabet, so a human being or an user can understand better manner. But low level language, it is written in binary form, means using binary form, so this language will not able to understand a layman or a student better manner. Okay, then it is high level compiler based. Compiler, you know. And now only I told C language is classified into two types, that is high level language and low level language. Then when we need to convert a high level language to low level language, okay, when we need to convert a high level language to low level language, that time we need one converter or translator. Okay, that converter or translator, that is compiler. Okay, compiler is a converter or translator. Okay, this compiler, it convert a whole program at a time to low level language. Okay, a high level language at a time it will convert to low level language. But see, in computer we have two converter or translator to convert a high level language to low level language. That is, first one is compiler, another one is interpreter. Okay, compiler, it will convert a whole program at a time, but interpreter will convert line by line. Okay, understood? Then it is structure programming language. Structure programming language means in C language we give the emphasis on function or procedure, means how to develop the program. In that only we give the emphasis. Okay, that is called structure programming language. Then understood, C is a high level compiler based structure programming language. Okay, then it was developed by Dennis Ritchie in 1972 at Etty and Tizwell Laboratory. Okay, then Dennis Ritchie is the father of C language. Okay, it was developed in 1972, Etty and Tizwell Laboratory. It is present in USA. Okay, then C programming language can be used to design the system software like operating system, compiler, interpreter, etc. Okay, application software like database, spreadsheet, etc. Graphical related application like computer and mobile games, etc. It is also used to evaluate any kind of mathematical equation. Okay, then C language we will use to develop a system software. You already know that software is classified into two types. Okay, first one is system software, another one is application software. System software are those software which are used to run or develop a computer system. Okay, but application software is a software which is used for a specific job like financial accounting, data analysis, payroll, etc. Okay, then that software, if we want to create, okay, if we want to develop, that time we can use this C language. Understood? Okay, then software, if we need to develop, then we have to know about C language. Okay, through C language we can develop games also. Okay, and any type of calculation if you need to solve, then that one also possible through C language. Okay, then that is the use of C language. Then next we will proceed. Next is features of C language. See, C language is a high level compiler based structure programming language. Just now I have discussed this line. Yes or no? Okay, then next we will proceed. It is a case sensitive language. Case sensitive means capital A is not equal to small a, means capital letter is not equivalent to small letter. Okay, that is called case sensitive. Means in C language we can use capital A to Z and small a to Z, that is 26 plus 26, 52 character we can use in C language. Okay, then next is C is largely machine independent or portable. This means that programs once written can be run on another machine with little or no modification. Okay, means when we develop a program, when we develop a C program, okay, that program will be platform independent. Platform independent means through which software we develop the C language, okay, or C programming. That program we can run in another environment or another platform also. Means C, we will use Turbo C++ to develop the C program, and that program if you need to execute using another software, that is Borland C or any other, then you can execute in that software also, using that software also. Okay, that is called machine independent language. Means it will not depend on any software. Okay, then the C compiler combines the capability of any assembly language with features of a high level language. C language is a high level language. Yes or no? High level language means it will be written using English alphabet. Then it need to convert in low level form. Okay, and that C compiler will be convert that code to machine level language or assembly level language. Means that a high level language, when we type, means that will be in high level language, and it will be converted automatically using that software only. Okay, then programs written in C are efficient and fast. Means what program we have typed using C language, that program will be executed very fast. This is due to its variety of data type and powerful operator. Data type we use to identify the data, means which type of data we will use in our program, that one we will identify through data type. And powerful operator, here also we will use different type of operator. For that only this program will be executed very fast and efficiently. Okay, then next we will proceed. Next is variable, constant and data type. Okay, before that we will know character set. Okay, character set, you know. See, suppose you need to read an English book. Okay, suppose you need to read an English book, then for that what you have to know, see, for that you have to know the alphabet, English alphabet, and using that alphabet how to make the word or how to make the sentence. After that only you can able to read an English book easily and understand easily. Similarly, when we want to develop a C program, okay, then for that also we need some character, and that character is called character set. Okay, that set of character is called character set. The characters that can be used to form words, numbers, and expression depend upon the computer on which the program is run. Okay, the characters in C are grouped into the following categories. Okay, first one is letter. Letter means English alphabet. We can use here A to Z, small a to Z, or capital A to Z. Now only I told C is a case sensitive language. Yes or no? Case sensitive means capital A is not equal to small a. Then capital A and small a we will treat as a two alphabet. Okay, for that only we will use here capital A to Z and small a to Z, means 26 plus 26, that is 52 character. Okay, then next is digits. Digit, that is 0 to 9. Okay, that all digit we will use here. Okay, then next is special character. Special character, you know, at the rate, hash, exponent, and star, that all are special character. Okay, that character also we can use in C language. Okay, then white space. White space, that is tab, return, backspace, blank space, all this also we can use in C language. Okay, these all are character set. Understood? Then next we will proceed. Next is variable. See, variable is an entity which may be changed within a program. Means whose value, if we need to change in any place of the program, we can change. Variable is an identifier which holds data or another one variable. It is an identifier whose value can be changed at the execution time of program. It is used to identify input data in a program. Okay, for that only we will use the variable. You just remember, variable is an entity which may be changed, means within a program if we need to change then we can change. Okay, that is called variable. Some example of such names are average, okay, height, total, these all are variable name. Okay, like that we can declare. See, when you want to declare a variable, then that variable should be related to for which you are declaring. Okay, then next we will proceed. See, rules for declaring a variable. When we need to declare a variable, that time we have to follow some rule. Okay, then first rule is they must begins with a letter. Okay, when we want to declare a variable, that variable should be start with a letter. Okay, some systems permit underscore as the first character. Okay, if you need to use underscore to declare a variable, you can do so. We cannot start a variable with a digit. Okay, you just remember, when you want to declare a variable, that time we should begins with an alphabet or underscore. We cannot start the variable name with a digit. Then next is ANSI standard recognizes a length of 31 characters. However, the length should not be normally more than 8 characters, since only the first 8 characters are treated as significant by many compilers. See, the length of a variable will be 31 character, but one thing you remember, that when you want to declare a variable, that time you declare using minimum character only. Okay, using minimum character only, so that your variable name means spelling of the variable name should be correct. Okay, here ANSI one word is there. ANSI, you know, American National Standard Institute. Okay, ANSI is a American National Standard Institute. Okay, then next is uppercase and lowercase are significant. Okay, uppercase and lowercase are significant, means if you declare the variable using uppercase and in between the program if you write it in lowercase, then it will be wrong. Okay, that is the variable total is not equal to, is not the same as total or total. See, here we have declared total. In total, first character is a capital letter. Okay, but here all are small, here all are capital, so these two are not equal. Okay, then the variable name should not be a keyword. We cannot declare a variable using keyword, because keyword is a word which have already been stored in C library, means that word already reserved for any other purpose. That is why that word we cannot use as a variable name. Then white space is not allowed. We cannot use any white space to declare a variable. Then comma or blank space are not allowed. Okay, we cannot use comma or blank space in between a variable name. If you do so, then that variable will be treated as more than one variable. Okay, then next we will proceed. See, here some example is there. Variable name first tag, first underscore tag, it is correct only. Okay, because this variable name started from F, means that is an alphabet, and it is a single word, so it is valid declaration. Okay, then char is a keyword. Yes or no? Using keyword we cannot declare a variable, so it is invalid. Similarly, price and price dollar. Okay, price dollar means dollar is a special symbol, so it is also invalid. Here group 1, see, in between one space is there. After group one space, then we have written here 1, means this is also incorrect, because we have used here one space in between the variable name. Then average number is a single word, so it is a correct declaration. Then int type, see, int is a data type, means it is a keyword, but with that we have used one underscore. Okay, with that we have used here one underscore, so it will be treated as a single word. That is why it is also correct. Understood? Then next we will proceed. See, next is constant. Constant, you know, it is just opposite of variable. Okay, constant is an entity which may not change within a program, means whatever we declare, that is the final up to end. Okay, that is called constant. Constant is an entity whose value cannot be changed at the execution type of the program. In general, constant can be used to represent as fixed values in a C program. Okay, means this constant we will use to represent a fixed value. Okay, that is called constant. Then constant is classified into 4 types. Okay, first one is integer constant. Integer, you know, yes or no? Integer means a whole number. Okay, a whole number. Using that whole number we can write one plus or minus sign before that. Okay, then that number will be treated as integer constant. Okay, then real constant. Real constant we will represent using 2 forms. First one is fractional and second one is exponential form. Okay, fractional form, it is a small number. Okay, in fractional form that number will be divided using period sign. Okay, period or dot sign. Okay, the left of that dot sign, that is called integer. Okay, integer part, and right of that dot sign is called modular. Okay, you just remember. Similarly, an exponential form, it is classified using e. Okay, before of e, that part is called Montesa. Okay, and after e, that part is called exponent. Okay, then this Montesa part will be a decimal number. Okay, but exponent part is a whole number. It will be a whole number. Understood? That is called a real constant. Then next we will discuss, next is character literal or character constant. Character constant, see, when we represent a single character within single quotation mark. Okay, when we represent a single character using single quotation mark, that is called character constant. See, A within single quote, S within single quote, then this all are character constant. Similarly, string constant, string means more than one character. Okay, string means more than one character, means when we represent more than one character within double quotation. Okay, when we represent more than one character using double quotation mark, that is called string constant. Okay, see here, convent within double quote, Baripada within double quote, then these all are string constant. Understood? Then next we will proceed. See here, the one table I have made to classify the constant. Constant, it is classified into two type. One is numerical, another one is character constant. Okay, character constant or non-numerical constant. Okay, the numerical constant, it is classified into integer constant and real constant. Similarly, non-numerical constant or character constant, it is classified into single character constant and string character constant, and this all the example of that. Okay, just you see and remember. Understood? Then next we will proceed. Next is keyword. See, just now I told keyword is a word which have already been defined in C language. Okay, or C library, that is called keyword. A keyword is a word which have already been defined in C library. It is also known as a reserved word. We cannot use it as a variable name, constant name, etc. Okay, this keyword we cannot use as a variable name or as a constant name. Okay, means this word already reserved for any other purpose. That is why we cannot use this word as a variable name or constant name. Then there are only 32 reserved words present in C language. That all are here. You just remember minimum 5-6 you remember. Okay, data type we have 5 or 6, that one you have to remember. From here you remember some word. That all are keyword, means using this word we cannot declare a variable or constant name. Okay, then next we will proceed. Next is data type. Okay, data type defines the type of the data that any variable will store. It is a system of declaring variables of different type. Okay, data type, see, data type we use to identify the data, means which data we need to use. Okay, that is data type. Data type are broadly categorized into 3 categories, which are primitive, predefined or fundamental type, user defined data type, and derived data type. Okay, then first one is predefine primitive or fundamental data type. Okay, primitive data types are the basic data types that are needed for performing general operation. Okay, when we need to declare a variable, that time we need this primitive or fundamental data type. Okay, without this we cannot declare a variable. For example, char, int, long, float, double, that all are primitive data type. Okay, then next we will proceed. Next is user defined data type. User defined data type are defined by user according to their need. They are defined or created from the primitive data type. See, user defined data type always depend on primitive data type. Means using primitive data type only we can define an user defined data type. Okay, then when you want to declare or create an user defined data type, that time we need this keyword. Okay, type def. Type def, this keyword we need to declare a user defined data type. Suppose we need to create an integer type data type. Okay, integer type user defined data type, then you have to write type def int, then that user defined variable name. Okay, then it will be created as a user defined data type. Understood? Then next is derived data type. See, derived data types are basically the primitive data type with increased range of value it can store. Okay, means when we need to store more than one same type of data, that time we can use this derived data type. Okay, it is also created using user defined data type. Okay, that is derived data type. For example, structure, union, array, pointer, these all are derived data type. Means when we need to store more than one number or more than one decimal number, more than one character or more than one string in a single variable, that time we will use this derived data type. Okay, then next we will proceed. Next is, see here I have written all the data type and what is the keyword for the data type and for which purpose we will use that data type. See, character. Okay, character data, if we need to declare, then keyword is jar. For character, keyword is jar. Description, see, character means single character. When we need to store a single character, that time we will use jar. Okay, when we need to store a small whole number, that time we will declare that variable using int. When we need to store a small floating point value or decimal value, that time we will use float data type. When we want to declare or store a big whole number, that time we will use long data type. And when we want to store more than one alphabet, okay, that time we will use jar star. Okay, star means here array. Okay, using array sign we will write the range. Okay, this one I will tell when we will use. Then next is double. Double data type we will use to store a big decimal number. Understood? Okay, for that only 6 data type we will use as a fundamental or primitive data type. Okay, these 6 data type we will use as a fundamental or primitive data type. Okay, then next we will proceed. Next is declaration of variable. Okay, variable, I told the value of a variable will be changed in any place of the program. Then how we will declare? Okay, after designing suitable variable name, we must declare them to the compiler. Declaration does two things. Okay, first one is it tells the compiler what the variable name is. Okay, when we declare a variable, then using that name only we can identify it. Then it specifies what type of data the variable will hold. Okay, then means suppose we declare a variable in int type, then in that variable we can store only whole number. Okay, small whole number means a type of data we can identify. The declaration of variable must be done before they are used in a program. Okay, means in a program what variable we need to use, that variable you should declare before its actual use. Okay, then next we will proceed. Primary type declaration means how we will declare a variable. See, a variable can be used to store a value of any data type, that is the name has nothing to do with its type. Okay, see, suppose we need to store an integer number. Okay, that time we will use int or long, means if it is a small whole number then we will use int, if it is a big whole number then we will use long. Okay, but data type will be the int or long only. Okay, then we will declare int count, int number, and total means this number and total, these two are also variable name, and in this variable we will store whole number. Okay, a whole number. And next is double ratio. A ratio is a variable name, and we will store here a decimal number. Okay, like this we will declare a variable. Then next we will proceed. Next is assignment statement. Assignment statement. See, values can be assigned to variable using the assignment operator equal to as follows. See, as a assignment operator we will use equal to symbol. Okay, means when we need to assign any value to a variable, that time we will use equal to sign. Then what will be the format? That is data type space variable name equal to constant. Means suppose we need to store an integer number, then we will write int final underscore value equal to 100. Okay, this is the format through which we will assign a number to a variable using appropriate data type. Okay, this is called assignment. Then next we will proceed. Next is format specifier. See, format specifiers define the type of data to be printed on standard output. Whether to print formatted output or to take formatted input, we need format specifier. Format specifier are also called as format string. It always begins with %sign followed by 1 or 2 special characters. See, format specifier we will use to identify which type of data we want to enter. Okay, see, suppose we need to enter an integer type, then we should declare %d, means %d is the format specifier for int data type. Okay, similarly it will use to identify which type of data we need to enter or print. Okay, that is called format specifier. See, here for char we will use %c, for int we will use %d. These all are format specifier of primitive data types. Okay, then you should remember all this. When we need to enter any data or we need to print any data, that time we need this format specifier. Okay, then here size and range. According to data type, here written size or range means how much or how many big number we can store in a means using this data type, that is we have represent here means integer minus 128 to plus 127. Okay, in int minus 32768 to plus 32767. So this is the range of integer type, this is character type. Okay, this is long type, this is float type, and this is double type. Okay, this all are the range of the of that appropriate data type. Okay, means this much number we can store using that data type only. Okay, then this first chapter is finished. Okay, then you just see this video carefully. Okay, and if you have any more doubt, you write your doubt in comment section. Okay, and another one thing, according to the chapter, here some question also given, you solve yourself. Okay, this much for today. And if you like my video, then you subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get the latest notification first. Okay, next chapter we will discuss very soon. Thank you. Have a good day.